Three of the partners are here. Oh yeah, just three of the partners right here.
Call Andy Roy.
Calling Andy.
Took that extra 15 minutes to sleep. Maybe 20. Hello?
Are you coming? Are you coming?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just wondering. We're sitting here kind of, you know, waiting with pregnant anticipation. Ready to go.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
You close? Okay. Bye. I was late today. Last one here. That's never me. Because I got stopped by a cop. With my crew set right at the speed limit on 211. And he took my ID, told me not to take my hands off the wheel, and checked my ID and let me go. There. Hey everybody, it's the Pops crew here. We're down in Vancleave, Mississippi with our good friend Paul Lebatard. We come down to this show every year and we have a great time and we're real happy to be here. Came a day early this year to get to spend some time with Paul. We got to go through his shop.
And I got to go through their supplies.
Yeah, we let Paul.
First pick.
First pick actually.
He gets to sift through the baskets that are near the tailgate on the back of the truck, but we got to see all his cool stuff in the shop and got to do some little demos and heat treat some 8670 and goof off a little bit. But
yeah. We're gonna go set up pretty soon here and be ready for the show tomorrow.
About to eat some seafood.
All
Enjoying
right.
ourselves.
Hey, Mississippi Gulf Coast ain't nothing like it.
That's right.
And we'll find them all.
I got this pattern from 3 years ago.
Yeah, whenever y'all set up there.
Yeah, 3 years.
Is that giraffe bone?
That's actually camel on that one.
Camel bone.
Surprisingly enough. Some of
You don't
Pop's
like it, do
personal
you?
stash that we got years ago.
I could make the knife, but
I'll
still.
tell you what, when I win it, I'm keeping it.
Can I be the devil from Africa here?
Absolutely, always.
You can see your pen in it there.
Yeah. I blame that on Joey. Ordered the wrong steel.
Yeah. That's another thing. Whenever I use the aluminum on the bolsters, I got 4 pins in the bolster there, and I got my pin press, and I made me a little got a round roller bearing that I ground up to a little slight taper, and then I made a little hammer part there that with a cone, and I leave them half the thickness of the pin protruding, and just come down with that thing and it presses down into it. And now one thing about the aluminum too is it tends to gall to itself.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Some of the pin stock that I get is slightly just a thousandth oversized. So I'll have to go on a slack belt and kind of roll it to get it. And I've rolled it and it'll go halfway and stop. That's it. You can't drive it out. It's crap. You got to come back and drill it out.
Hold it down.
Yes.
I may not put this one in the safe. I may use this one.
Yeah, after I win it.
Hey, what we're doing is just we're heat treating a scrap piece of 8670, 1/16 inch thick. We're bringing it up in the Paragon oven to 1550 degrees, and we're going to hold it for 5 minutes once it's at the temperature. And then instead of oil quenching it, we're going to plate quench it between 2 aluminum plates that I've designed and have a flow of water through the plates to keep them cool there.
Where'd you get the steel from, Paul?
There's this company called Pop's Knife Supply out of Georgia there that has a pretty good deal on it there. So they talked me into trying it. Right now, 8670 is my go-to steel. That's unless somebody just got to have stainless steel, that's the steel I recommend. So, we got about another minute to go. We'll be ready to pull her out.
So I'm just going to use these little gloves since we just got one little blade here.
Now, where's the plate so we can get out of your way? We're
Right over there.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and turn the water on so it'll have water flow through it. Although quenching one blade, it doesn't heat up enough to really make a difference there. Okay, 15 minutes.
From the hill.
Here we go. Gonna leave her in there for a minute till it cools off there.
15 and 1600, it's gonna be hard.
Right. Yeah, that's cool as it can be right now. Now I'm gonna clean it off a little bit, and then we'll check the hardness of it. Get it on. Right here, just clean it off. About a 63 Rockwell. This ain't the most accurate NASA quality heart valve machine, but it gives you a good indication. Yeah, 65 Rockwell. That's probably more accurate.
Mm-hmm. 65.
And that's plate quench. Yeah, no oil quench. Now, I had tried it on thicker steel. This is 1/16, but I got a feeling it would probably work all the way up to maybe an 1/8 inch. After that, the thickness might interfere with it there. But normally I use peanut oil. I'll bring a gallon can of peanut oil in here. You see the stain on the floor. Take it out there into the peanut oil, and then over here to the plate, and that just ensures that it doesn't warp and it cools on down. Mm-hmm. And like I say, end up usually with around 64, 65 Rockwell. And I draw mine in this oven here. Instead of waiting for that to cool, I just put it in this oven. Usually 350 is what I draw mine at. And it comes out about a 60, 61 Rockwell every time.
That's what I've been doing. 350 is what I've landed on.
Yeah. And if I want to preserve the finish, I'll coat it with this Nuclear 2000 first. And there's a trick to using this stuff here. You clean your blade with soap and water, and then you put a primer coat of this on there. Scrub it on real good and then wipe it off, and that primes the surface so that whenever you use a little sponge brush and put the final coat on, it just puts a good even coat. It doesn't bead up and all. Take a heat gun and dry it. Don't take but a second. And then whenever you quench it, most of it falls right off, but then I go over to the little buffer with the wire wheel and clean any remaining off. Yeah. And what I've done a lot of times now, to give a contrast to the blade, I'll leave the flats with that finish on it, that dark, kind of a shiny like finish, and then go ahead and grind and polish the flats. It makes a real nice contrast.
With that wire wheel kind of textury finish it
right.
gives. Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Talk through, Paul.
Okay, this is a test coupon that we hardened 1550, held it at 1550 for 5 minutes. Plate quenched it. Did not oil quenched it, just plate quenched it. Ended up with about a 65 Rockwell. This is not tempered. This is just straight out of the quench. We're going to see what happens whenever we try to break it. And it bent, looked like about maybe 25, 30 degrees before it broke. And let's look at the grain structure.
Looks like a drill bit.
Boys, I'd say that's about as good as it gets.
This is
That is a
flat as it can
fine, yes indeed.
Like gray flour.
Yep. Don't get no better than that.
We had a great time in Mississippi, did a little bit of fishing, spent some time with some amazing makers, and had a fantastic show. As always, we appreciate the support, and we'll see you next time.
Okay, ready.